Bank of England has launched digital pound CBDC project. And if you remember, when they started this pound foundation, they had a Wax, Quant, and Ripple among them. And right now, them highlighting this here in the project for the cross-border payments, the FX transactions, they are highlighting Ripple. And this goes all the way back to 2017, the pilot done between them. And how's the market reacting? It, as of now, looks good. We are starting to turn a little bit positive. We are inside this bull flag, yes, agreed. And the MACD is crossing to the upside. RSI is pointing you to the upside. Price is trying to break above the moving average, which is important because right now, when you go into the price action side of this, look at this candle. This daily candle is slowly raising the last candle, trying to become an engulfing candle. Last time this happened, that created a base and then we moved up from that 0.33 range towards 0.43. Yes, that's not a massive bump, but we are slowly climbing higher. This actually means as you went up, you got another engulfing candle which marked the continuation pattern, and right now you're getting two of them like here, which shows you a possibility that you can go higher. What does that actually mean? If you actually take a step back, this is what you're looking at. The possibility of XRP running higher. Why? When you zoom in, if that engulfing candle is trying to push you higher, that means this is something you're looking at. You're moving above the moving average here, like what we have above here, and that enables you to run up, where the measured move is 70%, which actually gives you some room to run higher to reach 0.7%. I'm like, okay, is that a coincidence? Like 71% move and XRP reaching 0.71? Great, that looks actually fine because on the other side, this is Bitcoin on a short term. Remember, we talked about different scenarios and we gave you the first reasoning that we are going to retest this range. So we did that. We wicked to that level and we had some volatility. Now, what's important here is that you had an inverse head and shoulder pattern which broke to the upside, short-term bullish for Bitcoin. Then you came back, retested, had volatility, but now we are trying to bounce higher. Remember what we talked about dollar last time. It is actually happening right now. If you actually zoom in to that dollar perspective, it's a little bit clear. We went up and we were talking about this, right? Most likely this is going to be a resistance. And right now when you go into this, you actually see that the market is reacting in such a way like Powell came in. And I'm actually surprised by the fact that, dollar drops because a little before his actual speech, the thought process in the market was like, dollar is slowly going up, expecting something from the guy's speech. But what happens? This guy actually hammers the dollar. So the dollar is now weak, slowly going back to the downside. So the market is not taking that as a positive news. So what else is happening in the market? Right now, you see Bitcoin slowly going up. You're following different exchanges to see the volume and how things are evolving, because it actually is important to look at all these different exchanges and the assets which you're trading. Now, yes, we agree that a lot of assets are popping, but at the same time, in the same market, you do see this happening. You do see a lot of assets in deep red. So you need to know which asset is showing you that bullish sentiment so you can take benefit of that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10%. In this market, yes, we do have opportunities. Yes, we see assets popping. If you look at this right now, we are having assets moving up and we had this call. Now it's just been like, a week. And right now, when we look at that for the week, it's already up 57%. And especially today, 33% running higher. And then you look at GRT and what does it show? You're already up on our call. We talked about the possibility of this asset running up and it's already 100% up. So in this market, you do get a lot of opportunities. The question is, are you ready to take that? Because it's not only the first 100 assets, which is like large caps. As you go through medium to small cap coins, you're literally observing all of them or most of them showing you some bullish sentiment and some of them popping. So if you are seizing these opportunities, now you're making money. Fine. What are you going to do with that? If you strongly believe in the fundamental of XRP and you observe that it is slowly changing, something is tilting for XRP. Now that's like, okay, if you believe you don't have enough units of XRP, this is going to be massive. One of the best reason for that is that, for example, if they are really using this as the bottle layer, now that's huge. Understand, they always have to put everything together in a bottle of, like, they are going to do the payments, the messaging system, the settlement system, the backend settlements. They have to look for every different things. And when they actually give you the highlight, enabling private sector innovation, and the Bank of England giving you the concept of DLT with R3, again, where you have XRP as a settlement asset. Now, yes, you do have XDC and others as the settlement asset, but when they really talk about Ripple, for foreign exchange transaction, it's not just RippleNet, understand that. It's about settling the payment from a central bank. So basically, they're not doing small transaction, and you cannot actually opt to a network which is not scalable, one thing for sure, and where the fee is so damn bad. Common people cannot actually afford to do that. So automatically, what happens? This is going to be one of the best news we have seen, because if you remember, this is not too old in the market. Where you are here and looking at the news right now, you're like, okay, this is really huge. One of the best reasons why is, like, you also get to see other strong projects, Quant, Avalanche, and Ripple together for some reason. Now think about what Flare was doing. It was trying to take in all the best stuff from Ether, Avax, Ripple, like that. So now these guys are working together with a central bank, a repository of money, and one of the biggest in the world, right? In the top 10, you'll actually see all these, and it's really interesting to see that they are working with Ripple. Now, what about the market? We are testing this resistance. If dollar gets rejected here to the downside as a continuation pattern, now that would most likely look like this, and that gives the asset class from stock markets to crypto market room to continue higher, which means next thing you're going to observe in the market is most likely the large cap assets moving higher. Now, why do I say that? Because when you look at this, the dollar Bitcoin dominance, it literally shows you are slowly going back down. Remember what we talked last time? We had resistance here. We have another resistance, right? The RSI suggested that, and that was a resistance. You got rejected. So now you're literally looking for, like, okay, we're going down, fine. What is the next support level? How long do we have? And I'm like, okay, that really looks good for altcoins, right? If Bitcoin dominance is slowly going down at a time when Bitcoin is slowly grinding back up, oh, that's really great for the altcoin market. Now, also remember this. We talked about this scenario which has not changed yet. We are still at $1.1 trillion. Money is changing the hands. If you can put that glue and put your hands inside that, and if you take some out, great. Why is that important? Because when this is changing, the market is slowly moving. There are a lot of assets which are moving higher, but at the same time, you also see a set of assets doing badly. Now, you really don't get a lot of them in the top hundreds, but as you go to the downside where the volume does drop, now you observe a lot of them being in negative. Now, only few in deep red, like we see in these exchanges, right? Where a lot of them actually goes red and deep red. So you really don't want to focus on a lot of them. But especially when we are looking at XRP, which is one of the biggest asset in the market, considering, the fundamentals and the opportunity out there. Now, what we want to see is the volume popping. We are still waiting for the volume to actually jump on. Like, we are seeing a lot of different assets here showing you that amount of volume, wrapped Ether, right? It's showing more volume than that, right? And then you see BNB close to what XRP is. And I'm like, okay, that's something different. Ether is like 6 billion. So we need to actually see this market moving back up. So now there is a lot in the stable coin. We are going to observe that coming back into the market and the market going through. But before we confirm saying, okay, it's turning completely bullish, you need to understand that the possibility that the price have these resistance is super important. As you zoom out, you do see the importance of that, because right now when you're in the market, yes, it's short term, we are slowly moving back up. It's actually good because this has been the layer of support here close to this level, and now you can bounce to the upside. Fine. But remember, on a daily, getting an engulfing candle and moving above is important, but at the same time, breaking this level is going to be super important. Why is that? We saw that the momentum to the downside increased from here, and that happens to be a previous resistance. So we need to break that level to say, okay, now there is enough room to run to the upside, because if it slows down there and get rejected, that's not going to be a good scenario. Why? We already crossed to the downside in the MACD, and on the 12-hour, we are trying to see whether we can cross back to the upside. Now, if that happens, it's actually a positive news, but we are not sure yet, right? Remember, on the 3-day, you are in the positive territory, and the RSI is close to the all-time highs, right? This level of strength was in the market back when we were close to the all-time highs. So the bulls, the strength is there. We want to see whether the market actually realizes that and push it through 25 and then towards 30,000. And that's not going to be a year from now. Most likely next 3 to 4 months, you're going to observe all these movements. And at that time, you're going to see altcoins popping through the roof for sure. So have patience, be in the right coins. And if you're looking for calls like these, because as we just talked about in this market, remember, you see all of these coins running higher. You see a lot of these coins running even faster than the others. You see a lot of volume coming in. Say A star here, it's 15% up for the day and only 12% up for the week. So the actual run up started today. Then you see RSI doing something similar, right? Now, these are all opportunities which exist in the market, and we had the calls like these, saying, this is an opportunity, keep your eye on that layer. And what's happening is, look at the other one, see a coin, it's up 15% for the day. We had the call earlier. Then we had a lot of different calls saying, okay, these are the assets which are breaking higher. These are the targets to look for. So you know where to actually take profit, because that's literally important. We closed a lot of positions in profit, and we are happy about that. Why is that? Because when you are focused on these assets, understanding what you can do in the market, this gives you the ability, right? We closed through render 40%, RLC 50%, AMB 19%, after which again we are continuing the same thing. Now it's last 24 hours, we've closed many different trades like Fitch 45%, right? We actually happen to do that. And whenever I buy, I put this into my alert. So you guys actually have the ability to see where I buy, what I sell, and at what level. Now, this literally gives you the window to understand, yes, there is a lot of opportunity in the market, which you can also take benefit of. And if you're interested in such things, you can have a look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Because remember, this dominance is dropping, and in the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to see a lot of altcoins popping. So in 3 months' time, going back and having that level of regret may not be helpful. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. That supports the channel. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.